Yo, how we doing? So today I'm very curious about again all the days that I think are a little bit lower probability or trickier for me. I'm always curious on your guys's and that watch these videos what you guys kind of thought of the market. So let me know if you took any trades. Let me know what your trades were, the confluences, etc. Because I do want to, I like to learn. A lot of you guys have good ideas and good trades and stuff, so I'd really be curious on the setups that you guys found, right? Why did I come into the day expecting lower probability conditions? Our red folder news is not until 1:55, I believe. It's some chairman speaking. I don't think that's going to do anything crazy. So I basically chalked today up as a no news Monday, right? I don't really anticipate much going on. And when I hop into the charts, on the 1 hour, this price run doesn't really excite me too much. We have no clear imbalances besides this one that we're respecting, right? Friday was a little bit cleaner. Actually, we had swept the high. If this was a different, day of the week, right? On a Friday, if this was like a Tuesday, this would look nicer in this imbalance. Delivering from a daily fair value gap, sweep the high, and we displace lower to these equal lows. So that makes sense, right? But whenever we wake up and it's a Monday and we're chopping down here, we kind of just sitting underneath these lows. We're kind of just souping each low and kind of getting some reaction. We're souping. Right here, we soup, move up. Soup, move up. Soup, move up. Soup, move up. Maybe the term is not soup, but we're taking lows out and going up. We're just chop work right here. There's going to be better opportunities for me to trade. So I came into the market not sure if I wanted to maybe, leave my account unlocked and trade, but I was anticipating not to really be comfortable with anything. So not being comfortable where we were at in the charts led me to not taking any trades. And there was trades that I paper traded or ideas that I could have traded, but there was nothing that I loved. So I sat on the sidelines. And again, this channel being a documentation, kind of a journal, today was frustrating for me, right, to sit on the sidelines. It was annoying. It was, am I missing something, right? What am I doing wrong here? Because if we look at the 1 hour, right, let's keep going with the 4 hour, there's no imbalances here, right? There's some order blocks like here, kind of, but there's just nothing going on in the 4 hour. There's a fair value gap here that I guess we're holding, but like that doesn't make me bullish. It also doesn't make me bearish. Right, there's just a lot of things in this chart. If we close below this, then I could anticipate a price run to here eventually. But there's just nothing in the charts that screams out at me, even though I am bearish for this week. I want to see an expansion lower. I want to see this low get taken. And I think on ES, I have the weekly expected for me. My expectation for the week is this is my weekly target for the week, right? It's a weekly fair value gap. My target, and I spelled target wrong. Target for the week, right? Why is this the target for the week? It's a weekly fair value gap. We have all this low resistance liquidity. I think that we come down and get this one as well, but it doesn't mean we have to, right? We are at all-time highs. We could see some displacement back into this range, right? We've been pumping up. This just looks really slow and choppy, and I would just want to see this weekly fair value gap get rebalanced, right? So that's my objective for the week on ES, which is similar to NQ. I want to be bearish. But this just on the higher time frame, this is just a lot of chop. It's just a lot of chop, right? Today was a day where I expected higher resistance liquidity. One thing I want to keep in mind too is that we had this off open on the ES. We had this equal high here created with this equal high, which this was at 9:37, so pretty much off open. And then we moved away. We didn't sweep at the high. So I didn't think shorts were going to be as probable until we took this high out here. Now we're just accumulating, just like whatever, and we get the displacement. We have an SMT now at this high, I believe, yeah. So that was kind of stuff on the ES that I was looking at. And then again, on the 1 hour, we didn't really have anything, right? So going into the morning, I could have been looking here. I could have been looking at this high getting taken, a little soup at this high. Why would that matter? Because we have a 1 hour imbalance here. This is the only real imbalance that we have. And then I think we create an SMT, or I know we do, at this time at least. So we end up taking the high. We end up wicking below it. We don't close above it, so we don't have any displacement above. And then we get, right, if we zoom in on that high getting swept, then we can kind of anticipate something. So what do we have here? We had an SMT, I believe. We had an SMT here with ES and NQ. And then what do we get? We get displacement lower, we create an imbalance, and we hold the imbalance and we sell off. So there's things we can learn from price even though I didn't get a trade, right? We have an SMT at the high after sweeping out a high inside that 1 hour imbalance with a bearish expectation for the week. We displace, we pull back to imbalance, we hold consequent encroachment, we displace, and we spool lower immediately. What do we get? We get 10 a.m. open right here, this line, this blue line that starts right here, 10 a.m. open. We had a 15-minute imbalance right here. 10 a.m. open manipulates higher, and I believe 10 a.m. opens, hits this 2-minute fair value gap right here, and then we get the real move. So this is manipulation above 10 a.m. open, right? And then we start spooling lower. What do we get here? We get an order block right here, and price respects the order block a few times. What did we expect to see? We could expect to see low of day, or low of market open, which would be right here, which we meet. And then we could have expected these relative equal lows right here, which was the target that we ended up reversing. And then if we wanted to expect lower, right? So how did price deliver to those lows that we could have used to our advantage? We displaced through this, creating the order block, which is after manipulation of 10 a.m. open. We come in, tap the order block, we displace again lower, and we end up taking the low of day before coming back up. So then we take it, we have bullish reaction, but we still hold this order block. We don't even really retest it. And at the time, this 15-minute fair value gap gets inversed at 10. So this is the 10 a.m. candle, so 10:15 is when this gets inversed, 10:15. So we inverse it down here, and we make a bearish fair value gap right here. So we have a balanced price range that we come back into, and I wanted to see something happen here, right? And nothing happened. We just had no displacement. We had no follow through. We just had chop all the way through here, and we're just kind of ranging in this imbalance. So I'll get rid of this blue box now, and I kind of want to just focus on this price run here, right? Because this is the price run that I feel like could have been traded if I was confident, right? I didn't have confidence in it. I do have to figure out why, or I do know why. It was because of the day of the week. The news events, the higher time frame didn't look very appealing to me, and that's fine. That's something I have to accept, something I have to embrace even. I have to embrace the fact that I didn't love where we're at in the charts, and even though maybe I could force an idea, why do I have to force my hand into the market and force an idea to work or want it to work, an expectation in the market, and I can just come into the day and kind of have no expectations and just watch, tape read, right? So the frustrating thing is that I didn't decide to not trade pre-market, right? I should have just decided to not trade at all today from before I turn on the charts. I came into the market expecting not to trade, but leaving myself with the potential to take a trade if a setup performed. The reason why I'm frustrated with that is because I think it clouded my ability to just read price action today. I want to start trading on Mondays, and specifically Mondays where I only paper trade and I just watch price action, so I can have at least one day of the week where I don't have any expectations over the market and I can just view price action for what it is. Because this SMT, the macro opens, we get displacement. The first fair value gap, the macro gets held. The drawn liquidity is lower. You could enter off this fair value gap, wait for, and then if you wanted to get a break even after this low, you could, wouldn't get tested, or you just hold your stop. And then we spool to this low of day, low of market open, and then the equal lows. And I could have studied price better. I could have studied the 10 a.m. open. Notice the hesitation on 10 a.m. open. We come back up, come back up, we come back up, we come back up. It has a lot of reactions there. And notice this, right? This is how you know that today wasn't a very, very clean day, is that this type of price action, this is about 1 hour and 30 minutes. There's nothing you can really do in there. There's no trade opportunities. You're just going to be stopped out long and short. You're going to get stopped. So that's a signature in price that allows me to find comfort that I didn't trade today. Even though this price run from here was, 100 points, and it makes sense, right? I didn't have super high conviction that that's what we wanted to do today, and that's fine, right? I don't have to do that because we didn't have a higher time frame imbalance, and then we did have, this big imbalance created. I didn't know how we'd respond. So that being said, I don't have to feel upset that I didn't trade today, but I wish I came into the day knowing I wasn't going to trade instead of leaving the chance to trade, and then being disappointed I couldn't find a setup or feeling like I missed out, because that's the whole point about paper trading or just viewing tape reading. Man, there's something on my nose, it's itching, man. But that's the whole point of tape reading, is that you come in without any expectation of the market, any ideas, any biases, and you just react to price. If I was just sitting here and reacting to price with no bias, no expectation for the market, I could have seen a liquidity sweep. We had an SMT. We have a SMT on the lower time frame. We get displacement in the macro. We hold this fair value gap. We run lower. We get an initial move up off 10 a.m. open. We get a manipulation of 10 a.m. open. We displace through 10 a.m. open. We create an order block. We hold the order block here, right? When we have this reaction close here. On a day like this, even though it's not my setup, I could practice entering. Off of this, right? I would enter right off this close because we've established this order block and we've established that held, and then I could hold. That's a 27-point trade, hold to this low, because we could maybe just hold our stop, and then we could hit a nice little trade, and this could have been our trade for the day just based on reading price action, nothing else, right? Because if I was looking to really trade, I would be trying to find an entry way up here. But if I'm just tape reading, I can just observe. I observe an SMT, I observe a liquidity sweep, I observe a break of structure to the downside, I observe a rebalance to the fair value gap holding, I observe the price running lower, I observe 10 a.m. open. I don't know what's going to happen here, but then we fail to go higher, we break lower, we create an order block. I see us respect the order block, I see us displace lower, or I just see us respect it, that's an entry, and then boom, you target your draws on liquidity. Right? So there's a lot of stuff I learned today through price action and gain conviction in, but doesn't mean that I took a trade. And that's frustrating. That's the hard part for me that I'm trying to get over with trading. A lot of you guys might notice that I'm taking a lot less trades recently. I'm taking a lot less trades. I'm trading way less often. I'm waiting for a lot more things, which is good because I'm avoiding a lot less bad conditions. But mentally it's tough because it's like, am I doing something wrong? Should I have traded today? Should I have been confident? Should I have been confident in shorts today? I'm sure a lot of you guys, and I don't think this is a bad trade at all. I think that this was a good trade. If you shorted this fair value gap, I think that's a very good trade. If you shorted this order block, I think that's a decent trade. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a trade today, so I don't want people to get the wrong idea when they listen to my videos. I don't think there's anything wrong with trading today if you had conviction in your setup and your model presented itself. Where I'm starting, and again, this is my personal journal, this YouTube channel, my growth, my documentation. I don't have conviction in a day like today. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I just know I don't have conviction with it, right? So if I don't have conviction with something, why would I be pushing a button? Why would I be entering the market? Why wouldn't I wait for something that makes sense to me, right? There's so many days, and it's so easy for a day like today to make me feel like I never see anything. I don't know anything. I'm not confident with anything. I have no confidence. But then I forget about all those times that I do have a ton of confidence in the setup. It makes sense. It looks like my model, and I do take it, and it works. I forget about all those days. All those days go out the window, and I only think about today. Oh, I didn't have any confidence today. I didn't have any conviction. I didn't have any clear draw on liquidity. I didn't really know what I was targeting. And just because I didn't, and just because someone else did, doesn't mean I'm wrong, right? It means I could learn, but it doesn't mean that I'm wrong or did anything wrong or just missed something or should lose conviction or lose confidence. I didn't do anything wrong. Neither did someone that took a trade today with conviction. Nobody did anything wrong there. It's all just a perspective on the market. Again, looking at price action, especially after this run here, there's absolutely nothing I want to touch, right? Because the objective for the day, which is these relative equal lows, this low would have been nice to see. But this objective gets ran. What do we get? We get a rebalance to the equilibrium of this range, and we just chop. Especially after seeing this, there's nothing I would trade until PM after the news. I don't trade PM after news anyways. But this is a clear signature right here, right? Right here. This price, okay, this is all right. After you see this, you should just instantly forget about taking a trade. instantly forget about taking a trade. Why? Because look at this. Look how bad this price action is. It's just a really, really tight range. About 60-point range, which on the NASDAQ, if you're bouncing between 60 points, you're probably not going to be able to, really benefit too much. You're probably going to get stopped out a lot. You're probably going to lose a lot of money. And it's just not really a good look to trade. So I'm happy with how today went in terms of not taking a trade. But I'm frustrated that I let myself feel, like I was viewing price action wrong. I hate that I couldn't trust my conviction to not take a trade and let my mind play games on me and make my mind play with my doubt, fear, FOMO. It made me feel like I was missing out, feel like I was doing the wrong thing, because at the end of the day, right, if I don't take a trade, I can't make money, right? And that's a horrible mindset because it's not about making money, but that's what your mind tricks you. That's the trick that your mind plays. That's the trick that these funded accounts, prop firms play, is that if you're not trading, you're going behind or you're failing, you're missing out on a day. Because, I can't make money today. I locked my account. I can't make money. I can't lose money, though, but I can't make money, and I can't make any progression to passing my account. And again, these are all things I'm having to slowly work through and start to build more confidence in myself and not worry about the account, not worry about where it's at, when it's at, when I'm gonna pass it, anything like that. I just need to focus on the fundamentals, the process, taking good setups, and then when I am in a good setup, when I have conviction, I have to let them play out, and I have to just grow my confidence, right? So I guess the reflection for me is: was it good that I didn't have conviction today, or should I have had conviction, right? Not can I learn from today? Yes, I can always learn from each day. I can learn from this price run. I can observe this price run here, and I can observe the market, and I can read price and why it delivered, right? Again, like I said, SMT, liquidity sweep, displacement, macro, fair value gap, displacement, 10 a.m. open, displace lower, hold the order block at 10 a.m. open, draw into today's low and these equal lows. That's a good read on price, right? But just because I can hindsight read it, does that mean that I should have had conviction in it live time? And I don't think I needed to. I don't think today I needed to place a trade. I don't think today that I need to have any conviction, especially after this low got taken, because price started behaving really badly after 10:30, right? I don't need to be looking at a trade after 10:30 if there's not anything clean setting up. That's something I need to note, especially on the Monday, right? Last Monday, we had a decent price run. I didn't have conviction, and I didn't get in. And then I tried the trade after around 11, around after 10:30, around after 11, and I got chopped up like this. So I don't need to be trading after this. And on the bigger time frame, if I'm trying to take highest probability trades, if you go to the 15-minute here, and yes, we had some intraday fair value gaps, but tell me where this chart is going. Besides just a higher time frame narrative that we could be going lower, this chart is not telling me that we're going to go there now. It's not telling me that we're going to go there today. Or not telling me it's going to go there in the next 30 minutes, next hour. And if the chart's not telling me something, then I don't need to take it. I need it to be dumb clear, because otherwise, why am I putting risk on, right? Yes, we swept this high, but just because we sweep a high doesn't mean we have to just go lower, right? Because if we just swept a high and went lower every time, this is what the market would look like. Oh, we swept a high, so we have to go sweep a low. Oh, we swept a low, we have to go sweep a high. Oh, we have to sweep a low now. High now, low now. We would just get this price action all the time. And that's not how price moves. You know it's not how the price moves. So why do we need to anticipate that this high is going to go lower, right? Narrative of the higher time frame, draws in liquidity or thing. But if we look at reasons why price move, to rebalance to an efficiency, liquidity, and equilibrium, right? When we sweep this high, we don't have a higher time frame imbalance that we're necessarily tap into for the first time. It's not like here, right? Imagine if we had a 4-hour fair value gap right here, right? I would have much more conviction if the narrative, right? If we got something that looked like this. And again, this is all just cherry pick. This is all just whatever, right? This is me drawing a line on my chart. This is not real price action that's happened today. It's happened before. But what is this? Why would I have more conviction in this? We're sweeping a high. We maybe have an SMT. Maybe we get a double SMT. We break structure to the downside, create an order block. Right? We rebalance to the order block. We have an inverse fair value gap. Right? This would give me a lot more conviction to take a short. I'd have a lot more conviction in shorts here if that's what the model looked like. And yes, I cherry picked this and I drew exactly what I wanted to see out. It's not realistic, right? It's not what happened, but there's a reason why that's what I want to see. And the reason is because these types of conditions and these types of market conditions and price runs, these things happen. They do repeat. So I don't need to overwhelm myself with trying to get all fancy in here when I don't have a clear picture, when it's not clear to me. I don't need to get all tricky up in here and try and force a trade, and I can just wait for the days where I see a setup, right? So if we go to a better, let's find a better day, right? Let's find a day where we took a trade. We took a nice trade here, but I kind of want to see a day where we have an imbalance. I guess we can use this one, right? We had a really nice trade here, and why was that? Because we swept a important low, right? All of this liquidity here, or actually, rather, why did I anticipate lower early in this day, right? We have a clear draw on liquidity. I end up trying to take a short here. We had a clear draw on liquidity. This is the pre-market, 7:30, right? This is market open here, 9:15, 9:30, right? What do we get? We sweep these highs here in this higher time frame imbalance, right? After sweeping this high. So this is a real chart example. We swept the high. I think we had an SMT here, 19th. We might have had an SMT, not sure. We sweep this high here. We displace lower. We pull back to this inefficiency. We chop. We end up sweeping out this internal high. We displace to the downside. We inverse this 15-minute fair value gap off open. So we disrespect the fair value gap. We then hold consequent encroachment of the 15-minute, and we start spooling lower, right, to these lows. So this model in itself is already more conviction than all of today's price action, because we have a clear understanding of where price wants to go based on time, right, market open, based on liquidity sweep, based on structure, right? We have targets, equal lows. This you don't want to chop. This you don't want to trade. This was the Monday. You don't want to trade this PA. Notice how when we finally run something that's important, we might have had an SMT with this high. We get structure that's moving. We have a higher time frame imbalance. I wonder if we had a 30-minute there. No, we don't. But we do have an order block. And then we get an actual price run, right? We get an actual price run. And let's see, on the 5-minute, we don't have anything crazy. Let's do the 1-minute then. And this is just me to show myself that when I'm picky for something, it's for a good reason, and that's because I will actually find a setup that matches it, right? It was choppy through here because then we have news at 10 here. But this is the 15-minute inversion that we trade to consequent encroachment. And then we spool lower, right? This was tough to trade in itself, right? This is a tough day to trade just because of the chop here before the news. But look how it delivers to our lows, right? That makes a lot more sense. I can have a lot more conviction, and I can, it might not always work, right? This could have gone long, but you have a lot more things tipping its hand to you in price action rather than just one tiny thing. Then the trade I actually took this day that was great was a liquidity sweep here. We had an SMT at this low, and then we end up inversing this gap right here. We knew that we would at least rebalance to this 15-minute right here. And this is on its own a great trade, right? It's not going to make you $1 million if you just capitalize here, right? If you just capitalize, if you only take this trade here and you only take all your profits here, that's 36 points. That's still more than enough. Then you could target this new day opening gap. Then you could target the high of day. And yeah, this price run is very, crazy, right? This doesn't happen often. But this is a beautiful trade, right? It has conviction because the market's actually moving, right? You have an actual price run. You put in this low resistance liquidity, you come down, you sweep out a key level with an SMT on the higher time frame, you displace higher, you hold an imbalance, right? There's no chop, there's no just back and forth, no back and forth, no back and forth. You actually hold price action and you run higher, boom, break even, take some partials, boom, take some partials. Maybe you want to trail your stop. Boom, we finally inverse this massive candle. This is a great day, and these days repeat, right? So then I have a day like today where I didn't have conviction. I don't have to worry about, do I know what I'm doing? Do I not know what I'm doing? I don't have to worry about those things because I know that I'm being picky for a reason. Things repeat for a reason. I'm looking for certain signatures for a reason. And when the day looks like this, right, I can happily sit on the sidelines, not take a trade, and be more than happy with the day, right? Even though these lows got taken, even though we did sweep a high and displace lower, I don't have to worry about that because it's not my job to catch everything. It's not my job to catch everything. It never will be. Look, we inverse this 15-minute and fair value gap at whenever that candle opens. This candle opens right here, so mark that out. I want to see if there's any opportunity after the 15-minute got inversed. So the 15-minute got inversed right there, and then we just spool lower. We end up spooling lower to these lows. There is no entry after 15-minute inverses, which is fine. Let's see if the 5-minute gave us an entry. When it inverses here, this is when we inverse on the 5-minute. I don't think we get anything. Yeah, we don't. So we inverse the 15-minute, 5-minute here, and we instantly take out that low. So there was no real opportunity for me today. There's really no opportunity because we could have held this imbalance and gone higher, right? If we look at this same picture, and this imbalance held, this new week opening gap held, and we kept continuously running higher, then no one would say that, oh my gosh, the market didn't do something I expected to. Everyone would say, oh, the market held this 5-minute imbalance, right? And we had low resistance liquidity to the upside, and people would be like, oh great, longs, right? Just because the longs didn't play out doesn't mean that if they did, it would have been wrong. So again, I'm just trying to convey that today was just a tough day. I'm really just speaking to myself here, so anyone that wants to leave stuff in the comments that's like, oh, today was a great day, it was perfect for me. I'm making this video talking about my view on price, and I'm trying to, it's my view on price, and today was frustrating for me. I have to recognize the emotion of not finding a trade and being frustrated with that, and trying to learn, because I'm at a point in my journey right now where I'm starting to get really flustered with, I feel like I should be having better results and feel like I should be doing good. And again, today I didn't lose or anything, but it's like I feel like I should just be, just killing the market every single day because I see people killing the market every day, making all this money, making hand over fist, and I want to be doing that because I've been putting in the work. I'm still putting in the work, and it's just like I'm in a weird limbo in my journey where it's like I've got to just stay disciplined, stay looking for what I'm looking for, keep getting better, but then craving the results of the success, of the discipline, of, all these different things. So that when you have a day like this where you don't take a trade, and then maybe other people do, it's like it weighs on you. It weighs on your emotions. It plays on your emotions, makes you feel, FOMO, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. What do I need to learn? What do I need to study so that today I could have confidence taking this trade? And the truth is, there's nothing I needed to do today. If I found a trade, great. But tomorrow we have another opportunity to wake up and see if we find a trade. So there's nothing I did wrong today. But I'm just in a really tough spot in my journey where it's like it feels like I need to be doing stuff every single day. And it feels like on days where I don't do something, and maybe an idea that seems, in hindsight, seems clear, like the price run I explained during the macro, and it feels like, okay, why didn't I do that? And I want to reframe out of that mindset because it's a dangerous mindset. But trading is these are the hard parts of trading that people don't really explain, which is when you're at that break-even point, which is where I feel like I'm at, where I just kind of break even. I'll just win some, lose some, win some, lose some unnecessary losses, some unnecessary stuff like that, just small mistakes. I'm just at that break-even journey, part of my journey, and no one really talks about how frustrating the break-even stage is because you're making mistakes that you shouldn't be, but you also know a lot, and you also are doing good, and you're also learning a lot, and you understand what you're doing, but you just have a few more mistakes that you just have to tweak, a few more mindset things that you just have to tweak, because a lot of confidence comes with results, right? If I was making money hand over fist every week, then not taking a trade today would feel great because I'm making money consistently. But when you're not making money consistently, not taking a trade feels like I don't know what I'm doing, rather than I know what I'm doing, and having so much conviction that you know what you're doing that you don't even want to take a day Like, you're fine missing out on a day because you know that you didn't have conviction, and you know that when you have conviction, it pays you. So I have to make sure that when I have conviction, I see the setup, I have to be paid, and I have to have conviction with it, because that's the only way to break the cycle, right? It's just to prove the proof of concept to yourself. So I'll leave you guys with that. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys did today. I hope you guys have a good week, and yeah, just it's a good day to learn, but it's hard when we don't make any progress towards our account, and I'm having to rewire my brain. So I appreciate everyone that watched these videos. I really, really do. It's really amazing to see, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.